It's really, really important as a service provider that we tell our customers what we're going to do, and then that we do what we've told them. In other words, that we set their expectations and then that we meet those expectations. Some years ago, I used to use a Unix workstation, and one day my mouse was faulty and I couldn't use my Unix workstation because the mouse wasn't working. And I phoned up the service desk and I said to them, my mouse isn't working. And they said, what we'll do is we'll put one in the post to you, it'll arrive tomorrow or the day after. When it arrives, put the old faulty mouse in the box and post it back to us because we have to account for them. And I said, yep, that's no problem, I'm happy with that. They'd set my expectations, it was reasonable, I was a happy customer. Trouble was, I did need to use my workstation there and then, but I had a mate called Dave who always had spare bits of hardware lying around. So I turned around and I said, Dave, have you got a spare mouse? And Dave lent me his spare mouse, and I unplugged my mouse and I plugged in the spare one and I carried on working. A bit later that afternoon, I had to go and see a customer. So I went to see my customer, and when I got home to my office, I found a little note on my desk saying, engineer called and swapped your mouse. And sure enough, they'd taken away Dave's spare mouse, plugged in a nice new shiny mouse, and the faulty one was still in my desk drawer where I'd put it. So the service desk had spent more, used more resources, more effort in doing something that had had a negative impact on me as the customer. They'd taken Dave's mouse away, and Dave didn't like the shiny new mouse they bought. He wanted his mouse back. It's very easy to just set expectations, tell the customer what you're going to do, and then do it. I do not understand why organisations find that hard, but all over the world I see service providers setting expectations and failing to meet them, and that's the worst thing you can possibly do. I had a very similar experience from a large retail company in the UK who delivered a fridge to me and it was faulty. And they took it away, and people on the lorry said, the office will be contacting you within 24 hours to arrange a redelivery. 48 hours later, I phoned the office and I said, where's my fridge? And they said, oh, sorry about that. We'll investigate it and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. 48 hours later, I phoned them again. Where's my fridge? I ended up shouting at them. I was so angry. If they'd said it'll take us 3 days to get back to you, I'd have waited 3 days. To say we'll phone you within 24 hours and then not phone, for me, is the cardinal sin for a service provider.